In 2020, a UK player called Corinne Derber was playing an online game on Paddy Power when her screen showed she'd won over £1 million. However, they said it was a display area and only paid out £20,000 until she took it to the High Court, and eventually they ruled in 2025 that she deserved the full payout. Now, another case, Andrew Green was playing online and he won around 1.7 million when the bookie deemed that it was a software defect and they didn't pay out, until he took it to court where they eventually gave him his payout. Now, I'm not saying this happens every day, but it does raise a really big question that why does everything seem fine on online bookies until someone wins really big? Most people think betting is quite simple. They think it's you picking an outcome, placing a bet and hoping it wins. So if you lose, it's just bad luck. If you win, great, you got it right. But that's not quite the case, because every time you place a bet, you're not just gambling, you're stepping into a system that's designed to profit from you. Because bookmakers don't gamble, they run a business, and how they make their money is very simple. They have these massive algorithms that work out the true probability of an event, and from that true probability, before giving it to consumers, they reduce the prices slightly. So imagine the odds are 2, the true probability is 2, they might reduce that to 1.9 before giving it to the users. Now, although this difference might seem very small, across hundreds and even thousands of bet, this gives them a massive advantage, and this is where they get their profits from. So even from the very start, we're already at a disadvantage, and this is what secures them profits and what makes 99.9% of bettors lose. But it's not just the maths, it's how the platforms are actually built. So if you get a few early wins, it keeps you betting that little bit longer. If you just miss out on a massive payday, it keeps you betting that little bit longer. And for those of you who have actually had a few big wins, it keeps you betting that little bit longer, and eventually the maths catches up and puts you at a loss. Now, here's what most people don't actually realise. If you're a bettor who starts winning consistently, bookmakers don't like it. They can limit your stakes, restrict your account, or ban you completely from their platform. And there's lots of data that backs this up, that profitable accounts are far more likely to get banned. So that tells you everything you need to know about the system. Losers are favoured and winners are blocked. So when you put all of this together, you start to understand why most people lose at betting, because the odds aren't in your favour, they keep you playing if they can, and winning isn't scalable. So if that's the case, what actually works? Well, you need to stop being like a normal customer. Instead of trying to predict the outcomes and trying to beat the bookies, you need to use the system in a different way. And this is where matched betting comes into it, because we're not trying to predict outcomes, we're using bookmaker promotions to make profit. So let's try and break this down with a simple example. So bookmakers have promotions such as, if you sign up and bet £10 with us, we'll give you a £30 free bet. So for that first step, normal bettors would just take that £10 and place a bet and hope it wins. However, with match betting, it's different. So we take that £10, place it as a bet, so a back bet, and then on something called a betting exchange, we'd place a lay bet against it. And these two bets, if done correctly, will cancel each other out, and you'll guarantee that you won't lose your £10. So far we wouldn't have made any profit, but we wouldn't have lost our £10, and the most important thing is we would have qualified for our £30 in free bets. Now with these £30 in free bets, we're going to do the exact same process as before. So place our £30 as free bets as a back bet, and then with our lay bet, so with our own money, we'll place a bet against these bets. The two bets will cancel each other out, and if you do it correctly, you'll make around 80% of your free bet back in profit. So what's that? £24. Now that's £24 in profit from one sign-up offer alone. Now on Air Profit, we have the guides and the software for around 50 other sign-up offers, which together total to near £1,000 in profit. Now once you've completed all of those sign-up offers, you can then move into making consistent profit from reload offers, price boosts, and many other strategies under the umbrella of matched betting. So we have thousands of people using Air Profit, with many of them making hundreds of pounds every month, and a few of them making even thousands of pounds a month matched betting. So match betting is completely different to normal betting, because we're not trying to predict outcomes, we're not just guessing, and we're not trying to beat the bookies. We're removing all of the risk, we're covering all of the outcomes, and we're only using bookie promotions to make profit. So when you see stories like Corinne Derber fighting for 1 million or Andrew Green fighting for 1.7 million, and just average people having their accounts closed down because they're on a bit of a winning streak, it shows you that the system is rigged and it's not built for long-term winners. So instead of trying to beat the system, you should instead try and use the system, and that is where match betting comes in. So if you're getting started with match betting and want help finding the best offers, knowing exactly what bets to place, and just a step-by-step breakdown, check out AI Profit. So I've left a link in the description below, and join thousands of others who are already match betting. We have the software, the guides, and just the whole system that makes match betting possible. However, if you do have any questions, simply drop them in the comments below and I will try and reply to all of them.